everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And from this week onwards, we are starting weekly predictions for all the 12 zodiacs. Now, starting the weekly forecast for the Aries zodiac. So, Aries, it seems like the coming week can somewhere start with some critical thinking. So, you can take some time out to think about how things are going on, and you can take some time off as well. So this can be a week where you can feel the need to be distant or somewhere isolated from others, but it seems like what would be good for you is to actually be with people around you, because this can be quite uplifting for you. So this week, make sure that you're not skipping the family unions or get-togethers, and also somewhere getting along with your friends can be very helpful. So do not skip all those occasions, even though you can feel that you are in a space where you have to somewhere isolate yourself, but still this can be a good uplifting zone for you. So that is essential for you to focus on. And also, when it comes to your love life, then yes, if you're single, there can be some potential connections that can actually come across, and you can feel that passion coming across. You can feel some instant attraction towards the person, but also make sure that you're also considering the long term possibilities, if you are considering, because the connections that can come across this week may not have those kind of intentions of taking things further. So if you're looking for something stronger, or something from a long term perspective, then do not take rush decisions. Take your time and be in that zone where you can also take your decisions very calmly. But yes, if you're just looking for something live in the moment kind of a thing, then this can be a very happening kind of a week for you. And for the people who are in a relationship, this month can be quite this week can be quite happening one. So you can feel that you can be part of the activities that can actually build a good bond between both of you. You can explore some new things together, some new activities together that can enhance the closeness between both of you. So this week can be good for your love life overall. Talking about your career, this week can bring some good positive changes. Your career, your finances can be quite good. You can feel that there can be some upcoming good positive changes that are coming across, and these changes can be the one, maybe that you have been waiting for a while. So those changes can be big. Those changes can make you feel free as well. And when it comes to your finances as well, you can be more free when it comes to your spending habits. So it is not just you being very much restricted, but yes, you can give yourself that freedom to just go out, enjoy, have fun, and not really think about the finances. But yes, it is essential for you to actually consider that you're not just spending, but you're also mindfully spending, because this week can provide you those opportunities where you would just want to let it go and have fun. So yes, it is good to enjoy. It is good to have that feeling of freedom, but it is also good to be taking balanced decision as well. So it is necessary for you to consider those balance things and it is important for you to be mindful when it comes to spending. So this is something that you need to take care this week. And yes, overall this week can be a positive one for you. It is just that even after having all those things happening, some positive things happening for you, you can still be in a state where you can feel that you deserve more, or there should be more that should be coming to you. So considering that aspect, it is quite important for you to actually consider what you're having right now. Make sure you're being grateful for the things that you're having, and not just looking for the next better thing, but also enjoying the things that you're still having under control, having in your mind, and having in your life around you. So just appreciating more of what you have, being grateful for that, and being happy in that present moment is something that you need to be focusing on this week. And now for Taurus, this week can be dominated by your work and professional life, because you can be working really hard towards things, and to gain that stability, to gain that balance in your life. And it is also very much a possibility that you can be so much dedicated towards your work that you can somewhere neglect the other connections, the emotional connections in your life as well. So this week you need to be, yes, focusing on work is good, but also make sure that you're taking out some time, at least some time, to be around your loved ones, around the people that actually care for you, and also taking out some time for your own, for your own self as well. So making yourself feel is also good. Dedicating towards work is pretty good, because that would eventually fetch you great results, that would eventually, give you the rewards that you actually deserve. So it is good that you're focusing on your work, you're having that dedicated approach, but it is also somewhere important to consider that balance out. So this week can be having a lot of kind of, that work pressure can be there, but also make sure that it is not making you feel emotionally drained, it is not making you feel very much lethargic as well. So take out some time for your own well-being, and spend that time with your loved ones as well. There can be some actually good opportunities that can come across this month. There can be some choices that you would have to make. This can be regarding your personal, professional life, both. So there can be some decisions that can eventually open new doors of possibilities ahead. So if you are in that zone where you're making those choices, consider that future possibilities in a better way, and then look for those decisions. Do not just consider the present situations, but also consider the possibilities of exploring new things ahead. And talking about your love life, well, this week can be the week where some new, if you're single, there can be some possibility of new connections budding in your life, but because you would be too equipped with other priorities, you may not be able to focus on that connection completely. But still, if you're open for those possibilities, if you are considering to look for someone, then there can be some better one coming across. And that is why, when that opportunity occurs, when that person or that connection occurs in your life, make sure that you're somewhere also giving that attention, because this can be something genuine that can turn out to be a better connection ahead, because the emotions would be genuine. So that new emotionally fulfilling connection can be there. And if you are in a relationship, again, that work aspect can take a lot of time, but it is essential for you to also focus on your relationship, because in your relationship there can be some new positive advancement, there can be some emotional moments where you both can feel closer to each other. So there can be some new kind of positivity, some new kind of good experience. So even if you're just spending time for for some time together, you're just being together for a while, you can experience genuine emotional bonding happening. You can feel those emotions getting stronger for each other. So those advancement can be there. It is just that you need to somewhere balance that out. And yes, career wise, things can be quite good. You can also be rewarded for your efforts. You can also be um, appreciated for what you're doing, because you would be doing a lot, because you would be fetching good results. So you can feel that you are in your zone when it comes to your career, when you are in your element, doing good, having good results, being appreciated, and also feeling comfortable doing that. It is just that do not overdo it, as I said, that you need to somewhere make that balance. But yes, once you would be doing things, when you would be getting rewards, you would be feeling comfortable around it. The people around you can also be supportive, the family, friends, and even the colleagues that you are working around can be supportive of what you're doing. So and this can also mean that somewhere you would be working in some team kind of a project where you would be guiding others as well, but that can be a harmonious kind of an environment. And where you would be also having that kind of appreciation, and you would also be giving that appreciation to others. So you can feel that harmonious environment around you. So even though the work pressure can be there, you can still have that harmonious approach. And when it comes to finances, you need to be cautious about where you're spending, but it seems to be a good week. And now talking about Gemini zodiac. So Gemini's this week can be the week where there can be some changes that can happen. These changes can be abrupt. These changes can be something, maybe there have been some past patterns that are continuing, or maybe, something from your past has been quite triggering you, or making you feel bad, and now is the time that somewhere those changes are going to occur, and you can be resistant to those changes at first. Something from the past can come to an end, something that is not serving you to your best can be, leaving you. So it is ultimately going to be a positive thing for you, but when it would occur, it can feel that, it is not something that you would want. So anything from your past, or maybe, anything that has been there around you that you feel is quite dragging, can be coming to an end, and it can be an abrupt kind of an ending, so you can feel that closure is missing. But do not think about it a lot. Yes, it can be a strong thing to deal with, but do not think about it a lot, because eventually it is going to give you that opportunity to start in a fresh way. So there can be some new learning patterns that can be coming, there can be some new phases where you can be more open to explore things. So all of these endings can provide you some new enhancement in your upcoming days as well. So make sure that even if those changes occur now, this may not be a very big thing as well. This can be something, just losing some of your old stuff and looking for that new change as well. So this may not be a very big thing as well, but something that has been there around you that is not actually serving to your best is going to get eliminated from your life. So it is not that you need to be very much tensed about it. You can just lose your clothes that you're not wearing. So this can be as little as this, or this can be something that, changing a job and looking for something new, starting something fresh, as big as this as well. So this can be like something between it. But yes, be prepared for those kind of endings and then new beginnings as well. And when it comes to your love life can be quite good. There can be some new connections coming across, maybe, the connections that can also lead you towards exploring some new things. So if you're single, there can be some fresh connections coming across, or you can yourself be very much motivated to look for that new connection. But also with new connections, you can be more interested in exploring new ways, or exploring some new activities that you can just do to feel more free, or to just explore more things. So this can be that kind of a week where you can be quite curious to know a lot of things and to execute that as well, and looking for that partner to do so can actually be, helpful for your love life too, as well. And if you're in a relationship, then this can be a week where you both can think to travel, or to explore some new place, or to look for something that can make you feel closer to each other. Like trying out something new, bringing that freshness, bringing that spark in your relationship again. So you can be more interested in exploring those things and having those fresh experiences as well, that can eventually be adding good spark in your relationship as well. And yes, career wise, this can be a good week, but you need to be cautious with your finances, because you can spend a lot and then you can feel that you shouldn't have been doing it. So you can have that after spending, you can have that feeling of regret. So maybe you would just be doing impulsive shopping, and then you can feel that you shouldn't have done it. So this can be a phase where you need to be cautious of. And also career wise, you can feel that maybe the appreciation that you need for the work you are doing is going to somewhere else. So these little moments can be there, but overall you can feel that the stability is there in your career, and you can feel that things are working in your way. Considering those abrupt changes, be prepared for it, because that can be in your personal professional life as well. So just look out for them. And also one thing that you need to take care is you do not rely on temporary pleasures, that can just give you some temporary relief. Look for something that can provide you that zen for a long time. So do not just go impulsively to look for that temporary escape. Make sure that you are considering your habits, and you're also being cautious about where your energy is going. And now for Cancer zodiac. So this week can be a week where you can feel your emotions taking over, and this can be somewhere an emotionally turbulent week. You can feel that even though there have been some good emotional moments in the past sometimes, but this week you can feel the some past insecurities upcoming. There can be some past emotional issues that maybe you can still feel this week. So you can feel those past insecurities surfacing, and this can also hamper the new emotional advancements around you. So if there have been some positive changes when it comes to your emotional aspect of your life, some past insecurities, some past doubts can occur again, and you can feel that somewhere you are losing that happiness that you have gained over this time. So there can be times where you can also feel that the emotional support that you seek is somewhere missing. So this week, even though there can be a lot of emotional aspect in your life, you can feel the even there can be some good times where you can feel emotional fulfillments as well. Still, the overall energy can be there where you can feel the emotional drainage happening. So it is necessary for somewhere you to be more cautious about doing things that are making you feel happy. So this week you have to consciously put those efforts in putting that focus on your own happiness. And this can also mean that you somewhere have to be in a state where you are analyzing things from a different perspective. So even if you feel that there are certain things that are bothering you, some past issues that are occurring, make sure that you're not just reacting upon it very impulsively. You're taking your time, you're considering things from a different perspective, and instead of just acting out, instead of responding to things, you are taking a step back and just noticing what's happening. You don't need to act upon a lot of emotions that you would be feeling. Just give that time to yourself, give that time to yourself to heal as well. So you don't have to react very impulsively. Take that time out and consider things from a different kind of a perspective as well. And that is why, love wise as well, if you even if you're single, again, those past issues can be there, and you can be very particular about whom you're letting in your life, whom you're putting that trust in. So your guards can be up this week. And if you are in a relationship, then there can be issues where you can feel that you're not getting the desired appreciation that you actually deserve, or something is being imbalanced in your relationship, something is being unfair in your relationship. And that is why it is essential for you to talk about it, it is essential for you to consider it. But again, do not react very impulsively. Understand the situation, have a discussion, not an argument. Because in that space you can be very much again, that emotional turbulence can be there. So you can react impulsively, you can just lash out things considering from your past as well. So that discussion is important, but make sure that you're also listening and responding and not just reacting on the issues. And career wise, this can be a good week where you can feel balanced, you can feel that harmony happening. Even if there are a lot of things happening, there are a lot of situations that are being around, you can have a lot in your plate to deal with, but you would still be dealing with all of that very patiently, and that is also going to bring you good results. That is also going to bring you some balanced results as well. So that harmony, that peace, that zen would be in your mind when it comes to work, when it comes to career. So there you can feel that positivity happening. And when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances, you need to be sure where you're spending, because there can be some finance related issues. So if there are some payment related issues, if there are some issues where you can feel that some issues can occur, some instances where maybe some past pending payments are there, there can be some clashes regarding it. So make sure that you are also considering this finance part very cautiously. You're not trusting others when it comes to finances, you're taking a stand up for yourself. So if there is something that is your earned, you have put in your hard work, make sure you're taking your stand for it, and you're asking for that payout, or you're asking for that that you actually deserve. So here, this payment things, this finances thing can be somewhere that would require you to take a stand for yourself. Now talking about the Leo zodiac. So for Leos, this week can be dominated by work. You can feel that the work is being overloaded, and this can also make you feel that somewhere your family is not getting that importance. And it can also trigger some issues where you can feel that your family is somewhere not understanding your need to be more focused towards work. So this is something that you can deal with. And but even if the issues can be there, even if you feel that somewhere you're not getting that emotional support from outside, you can also feel that people around you are not really understanding you. And this can also make you feel that you should just take a step back and be in your own zone and do your own thing. But towards the end of this week, you would eventually be able to consider on the positive aspects and be doing what you feel is right for you. So gaining that internal strength would be something like a highlight for this week, because you would be more bothered about what's working for you and what's not, and you would not be very much in that zone to please others or to do what others are thinking. So this can be something that you can gain from this week, and that would eventually be very helpful for you as well. And as I said, that maybe others around you are not would not be really understanding your perspective, would not be really making you feel that okay, that support is there. But even though that can inflict that pain on you, even though you can feel that hurt, you would eventually be able to just focus on the things that are working you, and not focusing on the things that are not really giving you that zone to fly out and to feel good. So you would eventually be able to look for the things that are making you happy. And also this month you need to be quite cautious about not trusting, about not trusting others as well, because there can be some people around you who can be good at your face, but they may not be very much talking in your favor. Now this can be in your personal life, professional life, but anyway, doing your own thing can be a very good thing. So you would eventually learn that. And that is why trusting others is something that you should not be doing this week, because things can be on a surface level, they can show you some illusions, or they can make you feel good about certain things that are not very much in your favor. So yes, considering what you feel is good is very essential. Career wise, there can be some changes that can occur. There can be big changes, there can be small changes, but yes, things can be somewhere turning out in a way that would eventually be in your favor. So even if certain things can come to an abrupt ending, there is a good possibility that you would eventually look for better things ahead. So if career wise you can feel that pressure on you, and some changes happening, make sure that you're not again being in a zone where you are doubting yourself or doubting your skills. Focus on the upcoming opportunities that can occur from this possible change ahead. Love wise, if you are if you are single, then there can be some you know positivity in your love life. There can be something according to your expectations that can occur, but for that, somewhere you need to let go of your boundaries and be in that zone of considering the choices. So because something according to your expectations of how love and relationship can be there around you, but maybe you would be too equipped with other priorities, or you would be more in your boundaries, that you would not be able to actually consider that. So this is something that you need to focus on. And if you are in a relationship, then this week can be a prominent week for you, where there can be some together kind of an achievement that can be there. So maybe you can achieve what you have been planning out as a couple, or as a as someone who is in a relationship. Maybe your individual life can have a positive impact in your relationship. So maybe something positive, something that has been into something completing can be there. So there can be some kind of good achievement as a couple, or even in your individual life, that can positively impact your relationship. So you can expect those positivity happening. And when it comes to your finances, there can be some good choices that you would be making when it comes to your finances. You may not have it all, but you would be making wiser choices that would eventually be helpful for your future growth and the future possibilities as well. So finances wise, it can be a good week. It is just that you need to focus on the things that are going to give you long term benefit. Now talking about the Virgo zodiac. So Virgos, this week you need to keep your excitement under check, because there can be good moments that you can where you can feel very uplifted, very joyful, and very much excited to do certain things, but they may not end up into being something very much as you would be expecting. So it is good to have that optimistic attitude. It is good to have those high expectations, positivity around you, but make sure that you're not getting into the zone of toxic positivity, that you're not actually addressing the practical things, that you're not addressing the issues that needs to be there in your attention. So even if you're feeling joyful, even if you're feeling happy, do not overlook the potential practical things that can be around you, that can actually kill your happiness in the coming time. So you need to be cautious about also considering the practical things, because yes, you can be feeling that rush of energy in this week, and you can feel that making things happen and everything can be very easy for you. But if you do not consider those practical things, if you do not consider the calculated risks that can come in along with your decisions, then it can possibly bring some adverse results for you as well. So it is essential for you to keep that excitement under check. But overall, yes, this can be a positive week as well, considering that you're making some wise decisions and you're not just flowing with your emotions. Because when it comes to flowing with your emotions, somewhere your finances can be that way, where you can just be in that zone of making yourself feel happy, making yourself feel pampered, and thus you can keep that outflow of money in a very easy way. So make sure that you're making the choices that would not make you regret after you are doing certain things. So you need to be practical about, especially when it comes to your career, especially when it comes to financial choices. You are keeping a check of where your money is going, how you're dealing with all of those things. So this is something that you need to take care. And again, this can be a week where some team planning can be needed. So it is essential for you to recognize that it is just not only you. You can also take some advices from the people who are experienced. You can also take some advices where some outside help is being around you as well. So you should be considering that experience, those skills that others have, and eventually use it for your own well-being. Yes, you can be quite skilled, you can be quite knowledgeable, but it is also essential to give that priority to your team and to others who are actually having a similar kind of mindset and better experience than you. And also this brings us to your relationship aspect as well, your love life aspect as well. So if you are single, then possibly if you're looking for marriage, or if you are considering some marriage related decisions, then there can be some good proposals that can come across. You can feel that okay, this is something that you can consider. The matching of your beliefs can be good, so you can feel that this can be a possible connection. If you're just looking for a casual connection, this may not be the week for that. And if you are in a relationship, then this can be possibly a week where you can, if you're considering marriage and everything, then you can feel those advancements happening. And even if you're not just considering marriage, you can feel that your beliefs are somewhere aligning. You can be more connected towards each other, you can share some good experiences with each other, and you can also feel that you are on the same page. Although yes, some differences can be there, where you can feel that you can perceive same things differently, but ultimately that ultimate direction, that flow of your relationship would be on the same page. So you can feel your thoughts and mindset aligning and making you feel that you are in sync. And career wise, as I said, that you shouldn't be very excited. So this is something that you need to be focusing on. So there can be some positive changes when it comes to your career, but they may not turn out in a very expected way as you have been thinking. So career wise, building up your high expectations is not very much advisable here. Do your work, keep that trust in your skills, in your in your knowledge and everything, but also do not build that high expectations. And just be and focus more on how you can help others to attain that those rewards, and ultimately it would be making you feel good as well. Now talking about Libra zodiac, so this week can be the week where you would like to command over everyone. So this can be a week where you would be very much particular about how you want things to be, and you would feel the need to be in that control. You would feel the need to command over others. So this can also make you feel dominating at times, and it can also make you feel that others around you are trying to dominate, so you need to be more dominating and controlling to show your power over them. So this can be that kind of a week where you feel that challenging energy around you, that is triggering maybe some competitor at work, at home you feel some kind of challenge arise dealing with a particular person. So all of those can be there, and that is why you can be in your zone where you would be able to prove your power. So this is essential that you're making your point and you're vocalizing your thoughts, but it is also essential to consider that the other person that you're dealing is also a human being, and you do not need to overcome or micromanage a lot of things. This can be that week where you need to be cautious about how you're dealing with others. And if you are in that position to command, make sure that you are inspiring others, and you are gaining that respect from others instead of inflicting that fear on others. And this can be that week where you can be in your element, feeling that control over things. So this is a good thing, so you should be using that in to uplifting your confidence. You should be using that uplifting, making others also feel directed towards a better goal or better productivity. So because you would be in your confident zone, because you would be in that state where you would having that control, then it is your responsibility somewhere to lead others in a way that would eventually bring positive results as well. So make sure that you are not exploiting your power, and you are using that to for your best and for others best as well, considering your love life. Because this week can be here where more about considering your own things, and making sure that you are doing well. You are focusing more on your requirements. So this week somewhere, some, if you're single, there may not be anyone around you that can eventually grab your attention. You would be more in your zone, focusing on your own things, and that is why you would not be really much very much bothered about any budding connection in your life. So there can be that connection, but you would prefer to just focus more on your own things this week. And even if you are in a relationship, then this week can be a stable kind of a week, not much happening. uh, yes, the usual things can be there, but this week you would like to be focusing more on just your own self, and considering your own requirements as well. So this may not be a very socializing, you may not be in a very socializing kind of a week, so you would just let things happen with the flow when it comes to your personal life, until and unless someone is not challenging you. And when it comes to your career, there can be some possibly a lot of work that can be around you. You would eventually have to balance things together, so you can feel that that pressure is coming up on you, but it seems like you would be quite comfortable dealing with all of those things, even though there can be multiple things, but you would be able to manage those things well. So yes, with having that well control, you would be doing your best, performing your best as well. And there can be some choices as well when it comes to your career, when it comes to your professional life. But because again, you would be very confident with the choices, you would be able to deal with it very well. And lastly, when it comes to your finances, then you can possibly be more interested to seek help from others. Maybe if you are on that zone of taking some financial decisions, you can look for help from others, that support from others. And finances wise, this can be a stable and harmonious kind of a week for you. Even if you're considering to make some financial choices, you can seek some professional help, or maybe some help from someone experienced from your friends and family as well. So you can feel that conversation regarding finances being harmonious and balanced in your life this week. Now talking about the Scorpio zodiac, so this week can be the week where you can feel good emotional fulfillment around you, so you can feel that there can be some good emotional upliftment that can be happening in your life. So your friends, family, or loved ones can be there to uplift you, to make you feel happy in a space where you are. And it is not just about feeling good in your personal life, but it is also about feeling fulfilled when it comes to your career, when it comes to doing what you're doing. So it is not just that you would be doing work, you're getting your results. It is more about you being fulfilled in what you're doing and feeling that happiness, so that you're providing some service to other, you're providing some quality to others with your work, and with the kind of efforts that you're putting in your work. So you can feel that upliftment happening around you, that emotional happiness can be the core of this week, and you can feel that growing and making you feel good as well. So all of those things can be there. And even though there can be times where you can feel that you can do better, or there's something better that you should be getting, there can be some instances about that, but overall you would be able to eventually look for the better things that you're having presently. You would be grateful for the things that you are having presently. So you can expect that kind of support and upliftment from others when it comes to dealing with things this week. And that is why you can your finances actually can be quite good this week. So you can feel that that stability is there. You would not be very much in a zone of spending a lot of things, but you would be having equipped money and finances with yourself, where you can, if you feel that you would have to buy certain things, you can feel that kind of freedom of attaining whatever you want without worrying much about the finances. So that stability, that that security when it comes to the finances can be there. And that is why somewhere it is essential for you to also consider some kind of making some kind of change in your personal life that would eventually be good for you in the coming time as well. So you should be somewhere considering making a positive change, not so big, not so small, whatever you feel comfortable with. But yes, considering a positive change, adapting to some good habit, adapting to some something that can be beneficial for you in the coming time, can also be quite helpful for you to consider this week. And now when it comes to your love life, well, if you are single, then you would be just happy in your own space. You may not be very much interested in considering some other one coming in your life. You will be feeling stable, but somewhere you would be also restricting yourself in exploring some new opportunities. So that restriction, that holding yourself back can be there. So if you feel comfortable, if you feel that okay, it's okay to explore, then you can also give yourself that freedom. But if you feel that it's not the right time, then also it's fine for you. And if you are in a relationship, then your relationship can be stable, you can feel that stability between. But also there can be instances where you would be wanting to share a lot with your partner, or you would be wanting to say certain things to your partner, but you would just choose to hold yourself back, and somewhere hold the grudges as well. So if something is bothering you, instead of just clearing out, you can just choose to keep those things to your heart. But eventually, because the you would be in your happy space, you would that much importance to things not working in your favor. So this can be that kind of a week where your focus would be more on the positive things, your focus would be more on what is good in your life. And yes, when it comes to your career, the more efforts you're going to give in, the more time and energy you're going to give in, the better rewards you're going to get. So it would be more like a fair, balanced kind of a week, where you would be appreciated for your efforts, and you would also not hold yourself back when it comes to presenting your views, when it comes to vocalizing what you actually feel. So you would be good at presenting what you're feeling. You would be good with your words and everything. So all of those things can turn out pretty positive for you when it comes to considering this week. So yes, all the very best. And now, talking about the Sagittarius zodiac. So, this can be somewhere a difficult week when it comes to your work life, because you can feel that there are some people around you who are trying to show their power upon you, where you can feel that somewhere trying to make you feel low or putting you down, but it can also generate the power to prove yourself, but it is also essential for you to consider that you're not here to prove anyone, but it is more important for you to focus on your work and to shift that perspective towards getting the results from your work. So even if you are in a space where you feel that people are trying to manipulate you or trying to control you, you need to be very much directed towards what's your ultimate goal is. Because if you get indulged with those people, if you get indulged with those people trying to prove your point, then eventually it can shift your focus and it may not bring the best results for you. So it is essential for you to consider where your energy is going, and you should be more focused towards your work. The passion should be more towards the work, towards getting the work done and getting the rewards out of it. So you should be working more passionately towards your work, working more passionately when it comes to towards your goals, instead of just focusing around the toxic things around you. And yes, that is why it is essential for you to somewhere shift your focus and put those conscious efforts in figuring out the potential skills that can help you out. So maybe if you are in a situation where things are getting toxic, make sure that you are considering some positivity out of it. It can be a difficult thing, but yes, you need to do that. Yes, if you are in that situation, then it would be better for you to focus on the things that actually focus on the skills that can be enhanced. So learning some new skills or enhancing the already existing skills that you're having can be a best way to deal with the toxic things around you. Shifting your focus can be good. So make sure that somewhere you're learning better things ahead, and you are putting that conscious effort to gain something positive out of it. And when it comes to your love life, somewhere if you're single, then there can be some potential love interest around you, but he or she may not be very much interested to making the move. So he or she can be somewhere at distance observing you, trying to learn more about you. So that person can be there, so you may not see activities happening in just front, but yes, at the back somewhere someone can be noticing you and trying to gain more knowledge about you. And if you are in a relationship, then make sure that you both are dealing with things quite maturely. You're not just getting onto the conclusions very quickly. You're not focusing on the arguments or the things that can be turn conflicting between both of you. Yes, some intellectual conversations can be happening between both of you that can eventually strengthen your connection, that can eventually strengthen your bond. But it is also essential for you to, if you are presenting your views, if you're presenting what you're thinking, your thoughts, then you are also not you're also being cautious about what you're saying, about your words. You are not just forcing your thoughts on others, but you're also open to listening and having that conversation as well. Because in order to express yourself, in order to express your curiosity, you may somewhere use some harsh words, or can say something to hurt others as well, especially when it comes to your relationship. So you need to be cautious where your energy is flowing and how you're using it. And yes, career wise we have explained, and finances wise this can be a cautious kind of a week. You need to be very cautious about making your financial decisions, because there can be some sudden activity where your finances can be affected. So be more considerate about the financial choices, especially considering some, if you're considering some short term benefits or short term gains that can put that adverse effect on you. So be very cautious about those things. You're not just falling for the traps. You're not just listening to what others are saying and just going with the flow. Be cautious with it, where your money is going and everything. So this is something that you need to consider well. And yes, that's all for this week. Now talking about the Capricorn zodiac. So this week can be the week where you would be somewhere losing out your patience and finally taking the action that you have been thinking for some time. So maybe since past sometimes you have been building up your strength, your patience to deal with things, but now this can be that week where you would be finally into that action, making things happen in your favor, and you would be quite interested in exploring those opportunities as well. So that confidence can be within you. You can be quite driven when it comes to getting what you actually want. So this can be in regards of your career, in regards of your personal life, but yes, you can be very much into a space where you would be very dedicated towards what you want to do, even though there can be some people around you who can try to overpower you, who can try to put that control on you, who can try to restrict your actions and your mindset as well. But still you would be able to surpass all those obstacles, and you would be in that zone of feeling that power from within, because that confidence can be within you, that faith can be within you, that you can just deal with anything, and you would be taking that action as well. So that much needed break that you have been thinking of or feeling like, you would be taking action about it. And this can eventually turn the way that you want it to turn. So it is not like you would be doubtful about it, but you would be more confident that you would be turning how you want things to be in your favor. And that is why when it comes to your love life, you would be more in a zone where you would be just happy in your own space. So in that space, if someone else occurs in your life, if you're single, if someone else just comes into your life, then you can also feel that that can be just your partner in crime kind of a situation, but you would not be very much bothered in that space of looking for some long term relationship or some something serious. You would be more into a zone of exploring and seeing how things would be going. So because you would be in that zone, you can create some meaningful connections as well, because eventually your mindsets would be matching. So that new phase when it comes to your love life can also be there. And if you're already in a relationship, then this can be a space where you may not really think about consequences, or a lot about what can be happening in the long term situations. You would be more about living in the moment, having a good time together. So this can be a phase where you can feel free with your partner as well, and you can be in a very comfortable kind of a situation. But also make sure that if you are in a good space, your partner is also in a good space, because otherwise he or she can perceive you as being someone careless, and or someone who is not giving that attention to them. So it is essential for you to take your partner along with your happy journey, and feeling that optimism as well. And when it comes to your career, there can be some opportunity that can be occurring, some new opportunity, especially if you're considering some change in your career. There can be that kind of some new opportunity that can be there, but it can be somewhat challenging for you to grab that opportunity. So it is essential for you to again trust your skills, to trust your own knowledge. And yes, the competition can be there, but at the same time, because you would be feeling that confident, you can achieve that opportunity as well. So career wise as well, there can be some positive shifts. Finances wise, yes, you can feel free. Again, that feeling of being free and doing whatever you want can reflect here as well. So you can just do things that are making you happy. You may not very much bother about finances, also because you would be having something in your space, so you would not be very much worrying about the consequences and the repercussions. So you would be enjoying and spending on yourself as well. So having that experience, you can also focus on spending your finances into gaining some positive experience as well, or gaining some enjoyable experience as well. So all of these can be happening. But also more than that, this can also be a week where you would be more about standing up for yourself. And it is essential for you to actually stand up for yourself wherever you feel that you're not getting what you deserve. You need to take a stand for yourself and express your views and thoughts very courageously out there. So this would be enhancing more your confidence and turning things in your favor as well. And now talking about the Aquarius zodiac. So this week can somewhere start with you having some kind of self doubts, and this can be taken as an advantage for others, because there can be again people around you who can try to take advantage of you being in a vulnerable situation. So they can try to command you. They can try to tell you what you have to do, and this may not be very much in your favor. So because they would be more about looking for their own gains, they would be more about looking for their own benefits in this whole situation, this may not be very much beneficial for you. So that is why it is somewhere very essential for you to get out of that zone of self doubt and trusting more on your skills and being more free when it comes to taking your own decisions. So this can be somewhere a task for you, but eventually it seems like with the passing week you would eventually gain that wisdom to balance that and to actually break through the things that are making you feel restricted, and the things that are making you feel that in you are in somewhere being guided more, and you're being in a zone where people are taking advantage of you being too nice or being too naive as well. So you would be gaining that conscious, you would be taking that wise decision, you would be balancing out all of those things as well. You may not be very much in a zone of fighting with others or vocalizing a lot of your thoughts, but you would be realizing from within what's happening, and you would be able to manage those things very well with patience, with harmony as well. So even if you feel that people are just trying to dominate you or overpower you or even control you, you would be wise enough to recognize the patterns and deal with them very patiently. So this can be a very right approach that can be happening, and eventually towards the end of this week you can figure out some more positive ways to deal with things, and it can also push you towards learning something, some good skill that would eventually be able to contribute to your future growth as well. So overall this week can be a week where you would be learning a very important lesson, or how to deal with dominating people around you, controlling people around you, without giving a lot of energy to proving your point or proving that you're right and everything. So overall, when it comes to your career, this can be, again, this can be somewhere a week because you would be in that restrictive zone. Then this can be a week where you would not be very much bothered about, if you're single, you would not be very much bothered about the connections around you. You would be more particular about your boundaries, and you would also be in a zone where you would keep a check on where your energy is going, because eventually you would be focusing more on that. So you would not be very much entertaining the people or the connections that are not that are not there according to your standards and expectations. And if you are in a relationship, then somewhere you can you can feel that there are certain things that are not being fair for you, and in that zone you can be vocal about it. So in your relationship particularly, you can say out things that are bothering you. You can, because you would be feeling comfortable in that situation, so you would be putting your points forward. But make sure that that it doesn't turn into argument, it doesn't turn into conflict. Even if you what you're demanding would be fair, make sure that you're presenting in a very compassionate way, that your partner is also considering that and listening to what you're saying, instead of just defending their points. So that defense can be up, and because of that there can be some conflicts, but with harmony you would be able to deal with that as well. Again, with career, as you would learn to eventually do your own thing, there can be some um, some positive shift that can be happening in your career. So you can expect that positivity coming across. You can feel that you are free to do your own thing. Some new phase in your career can also get started. And finances wise, you can be very cautious when it comes to planning about what you want, what how you want to deal with things. So you can be very particular about your finances, and that can eventually lead towards something better in your life as well. So because you would be cautious, you would be analytical, you can also make your financial plans, and you can think about some future investments as well. So it can be more about critically thinking about your finances, that would eventually bring some positive results in the coming time as well. And now for the Pisces zodiac. So, overall, for Pisces, this week can be a good week, but you also need to be very much cautious that you do not get driven more with your ego, because you can feel powerful, you can feel that you're in a good space to express yourself, to let your thoughts be known to others, but it can somewhere also create some issues and consequences that can drain your energy as well. So it is essential for you to make sure that whatever you are saying can actually fetch some consequences according to that. So even if you are on the right zone, even if your intentions are right, you can create some misunderstandings with your words or with the way you're presenting yourself, and people can take it to their ego and try to defend a lot of things together. So this can somewhere create some conflicts and confusion. So this is something that you need to be very much cautious about, that the way you're presenting yourself, the way you are treating others should not impact their ego. And because you would be in that control, you would be in that space of expressing yourself, so it is your responsibility to be more wise about choosing your words right, and be very much clear about your intentions as well. And that is why it can somewhere create some issues in your career as well, or in your work life as well. People can take what you say wrongly on your ego, and thus there can be some misunderstandings, some conflicts that can be occurring. You can be making some difficult choices as well, but considering what is good for the future, considering all the pros and cons are important. So even if you are choosing something and letting the other thing go, make sure that you are being very clear with the facts of why you are doing it. So it is essential to express yourself in a wiser way, instead of just letting others know what you're doing. So this is something that you need to be cautious of. Career wise, you need to be quite cautious in your work life, how you're dealing with things, how you're presenting your words and everything, because somewhere that can create some conflicting situation. But yes, this can also make you, somewhere make you feel trained when it comes to dealing with such circumstances. So it can be a lesson kind of a thing, but you would be dealing with patience, so this can turn out well for you as well. Finances wise, this can be a positive week. You can also receive some kind of gifts, or some kind of some previous payments can also be there to you, coming to you, and you would be feeling good about it as well. So finances wise, it can be a good week for you, where you can feel happy about it. And when it comes to your career, so if you are in a relationship, then this can be a phase, a week where you can feel very secure when it comes to your relationship. There can be good communication, there can be even there can be good family bonding between your families as well, that can be there. So you can expect that kind of strength coming in your relationship. You can expect that kind of support coming in your relationship as well. And this can eventually strengthen your connection forward. And if you are single, then if you're looking for some casual connections, if you're looking for just exploring things, then this may not be that week, because this week there can be, if there is some present connections around you, you can feel that somewhere that connection is strengthening up. You can feel some kind of security coming from that connection, that particular connection. If you're completely, if there's no one around, then this can be a week where you can just be focused more about more towards your family and your loved ones, and you may not be very much interested in building that new connection or something. So your focus would be more about your career, more about your family, and maybe the finances as well. So all of those things can be there. Overall, this can be the week where you would be, again, more focused towards your own growth. And that is why it is essential for you to be more dedicated towards your work, to be more dedicated towards whatever you're doing, because that dedication and that focus in your in your particular activity can bring great results for you in the coming time. So you can feel that the results that you feel are not are not happening in just on the surface, but those would be there building up from the core. So those benefits can be there, and you can feel those profits coming in the coming time. So that's it for this week's Zodiac forecast. And thank you so much for your support. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the very best.